All right. Happy Monday. Good morning, Facebook friends. You got myself and John here, and we're so excited that we're jumping the gun on this announcement. John, you want to tell them a little bit about our amazing guest?
Yeah, so we woke up and it had been over a year that Peggy has been with us. She is an amazing agent, been in the business a long time. She is one of the queens of the Brian Buffini, oh, bless me,
Bless you.
system. And she is one of their white hats, which is a very elite group of agents. She has been doing pop buys and kind of the queen of pop buy ideas for a very long time. And so we wanted to bring Peggy on to share a little bit of why she joined EXP, how her experience has been. She's already won the prestigious Icon Award. So let's go ahead and bring her in without further ado.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Peggy, how are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Well, thanks for joining us. First question, time flies. How long has it been that you've been at EXP now?
I joined, I believe, June of 2020. So it's over a year, and it was deep in the pandemic. It worked out to be great timing. So,
and so let's back up. So had you heard of EXP? Like when was your first experience? Like, how did you hear about it? How did you kind of start to perk your interest in looking into it as an opportunity?
I had heard about it probably 3 years prior. And I actually had like one person reach out to me to talk to me about it. But at the time it was really small. I was super happy with the brokerage that I was at. It was just kind of fell off the radar for me. And then one of my close friends who we used to sell bank repos together, Colby Culbertson, started looking at EXP. And that's when, I really dove into the model. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it was just the right move for me to level up my business.
So when we talk about that, we say that a lot, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's really true, right? Because the math, the model, like all these things we understand internally. What did that mean for you? Like where did it start to make sense to you when you were first evaluating it?
Well, I think, based on the production that I do, EXP basically pays me, with the exception of the transaction fees, to be part of EXP because I get my cap back in stock. And so I'm a mom. I've been married 20 years to my husband. We have 5 kids. And I just started doing the math. I was with the same brokerage for 15 years. And I just did the math on how much money the brokerage was taking. Even though there was a cap structure, I still had a franchise fee. And so just looking at that particular thing, I had to ask myself, would I put this brokerage on payroll for $5,000 a month, which was basically what I was doing? And did they add $5,000? Would I hire them? And I wasn't getting that value. And so
that's such a cool way to look at it. I've never heard it explained that way. With the would I hire this brokerage for $5,000? Would I put them on payroll for $5,000 a month? And that's the thing, right? It's not about cost. If you're getting the value, if you are loving every bit of what your brokerage provides you, from technology to systems to training to leverage to everything, if that's worth it, then awesome. Go pay them 60 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it might be. But if you're the type of agent that might not go into the office and not get the value out of the trainings, and I mean, there's all these agents that have these blinders on and they just do their job, but then their pocketbook doesn't reflect that, because every time they close a deal, the money keeps going out the door. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So you were paying $5 grand a month, and then you came over to EXP. It's been a little over a year. Are you net positive at EXP yet? Does EXP pay you to work there yet, or are you still paying them a little bit?
Well, I pay them, a nominal amount for transaction fees and my E&O policy. But, as an Icon member, I get my $16,000 cap back in stock. And especially when I joined EXP in June of 2020, their onboarding is kind of like checking out on an Amazon cart. And I accidentally clicked a button that said I wanted to buy 5% of my commission checks in EXP stock at a 10% discount. And I didn't figure out that I did that for like 3 or 4 months, which was like probably the best accident I've ever had in my life. And, the stock did a stock split. Basically, I've got stock at a basis of $4 a share. And I don't know what it is today, but
it's $33 after the split. So 66, so 4 to 66, whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
That's the accident that happened while you were signing up that made you a significant amount of money. And that's really amazing because you got a taste of how great that incentive, that discounted stock could be. And it's made you, so you're definitely net positive. You haven't really paid EXP any money. You've paid some fees or whatever, but you've got it back and then some. You basically make money being at EXP, whereas before you were paying a lot out.
Yeah, and I would have been happy to pay it if I was getting value, and it was a great company to work with, had some great relationships. But the people were not choosing the brand, they were choosing Peggy Urieff. And, I think a lot of brokerages kind of program you into thinking that the brand, that's why you're being chosen, is the brand, and this brand that's been here for 100 years and all of that. But I had to move over. I had like 5 listings that I hadn't put on the market yet when I made the decision. And I moved on a Friday, put the listings on Monday, and I called all of the clients first because I'm a big authenticity, integrity person. I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. I'm fine. If you want me to stay with this brokerage, I'm fine staying with this brokerage, putting your house on the market, closing the deals, and then moving at that time. And half of the people didn't know what company I was with. And all of them said, wow, Peggy, that sounds really exciting. We're really great. And someone said, should I care? Do I still get you? And so that experience alone kind of helped deprogram me from, I think, some brokerages do a really good job of programming you into thinking that it's them. But anyways, that was just kind of an eye-opening experience.
It is. And if an agent is watching this, and Meyer, I'll let you go in one sec, but if you're watching this, do that. Call 10 of your favorite clients and ask them what company you work for and see if they even know. Meyer, what were you going to say?
Yeah, me and John have been doing this for a while, helping agents transition into EXP, and it's been the same experience for, I don't know, 100 of them. When they said, I don't know if my clients are going to be happy with this, and almost every single time their clients don't know which broker they're with, and they don't care because they're paying the same amount and they're getting the same service from the same person. So it's awesome that you were able to see that in real time. Let's talk about being net positive. So you left your broker, which your agents didn't care about. You get to come over to EXP, you get to Icon, you get your cat back in stock. You're buying stock at $4, which is worth effectively 66. So you're very net positive, but that's not even the biggest part of it. Something really cool happened to you about a month ago, and I want to talk about that. So in EXP, we get awarded and rewarded when we help attract other great agents into the company. And somebody gave you a call, and something really big is happening.
Yeah, so it was really, really amazing that I got the call. But when I joined EXP, I guess the PR department put out the top 10 agents that moved over that month or something, and they put it on the World Wide Web. I've never seen it. I don't Google myself. And so this agent was Googling, top producers moved over to EXP or some combination of that. And she found that list of 10, and she called everybody on the list. And I was on the bottom of the list because my name's Urieff. And I called her back and I said, hey, I'm about to write an offer. She's like, oh, I've been talking to some people with EXP. She's like, I just wanted to get your experience from it. And I feel like I'm going to get the real deal answer from a woman instead of a man. So sorry, guys, but that's what she said.
Don't be sorry. We're happy.
I know. And so I called her back and, said, hey, here's what my experience has been. And then she drops the bomb that her husband owns a big brokerage in Michigan, and they're looking to bring the whole group over to EXP. So I called Colby, who and John and Mayor, and was like, hey, I need some help here. Let's get on Zoom and talk to these people. And I flew him out to Irvine, and we had a great couple of days. And then we, at the beginning of December, went to Michigan and onboarded this brokerage. So it's been great because you can just tell these broker owners, they have got the biggest hearts, very smart people, and very fun to partner with. So it's been kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's the power of this company, right? I mean, would you have ever picked up the phone to help an agent or broker in Michigan? In your old brokerage, there's no need to do that. And over here there is. And that's the reason why all of us jumped on a plane and went out there and met with this great team. And now we're able to provide them and power them up by EXP, with you as the sponsor. And EXP is going to pay you handsomely for the rest of your duration as a realtor, for doing so. And so that's pretty cool. John?
Well, guys, I mean, we just flew out to Michigan. Well, we flew him out to California, and then we flew to Michigan. And wait, did we just sign him up? No, actually, we were just on a conference call with them this morning, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we're on a conference call with them every Monday morning because we're working on their transition plan and getting their agents acclimated. And then their trainings, our trainings are open up to their agents now, and they can come to our trainings every week. So it's this amazing thing that creates this unity where now this group in Michigan is like our extended family. And, Peggy, you and I wouldn't have the relationship we have if it wasn't for Colby and introducing us. Like, I may have known who you were before all of this, but we weren't close. We didn't talk. I didn't help you build your business or any of that. And I'm a nice guy. I like to help people in the real estate industry, but it just doesn't work the same, right? So that's one of those ways where revenue share really creates this magic where it interweaves this fabric of relationships across the industry. And I know you have a ton of relationships that hopefully somebody through that network is watching this and picks up the phone and reaches out to you and says, you know what, Peggy, I'm willing to listen. I'm curious. I'm willing to hear it out. I like what you had to say. But you know what? Let's forget about the net positive. Let's forget about the stock. Let's forget about the revenue share. Like, let's just pretend this is your any average old brokerage, just like the one you used to work at that didn't have all these other incentives. How is it for production? How is it for training? Like, speak to that. How has your business been impacted outside of these other perks and sort of shiny objects that people like to talk about at EXP?
Yeah. Actually, at the point I am in my career, and I do like to help people and I do like to mentor people. But in a lot of brokerages, I see that they kind of have this protected, this is my little way that I make the money. And what I really love about EXP is they've got such a collaborative, open spirit with top producers that are Icon members. They go back and they teach Icon classes in EXP world. And so I have gotten just great value in tuning in to hear what this EXP agent in Philadelphia is doing to farm an area and tips and techniques. It's just got such a welcoming, open, collaborative spirit that I think most brokerages, people just have a scarcity mindset. So they don't want to share their secret sauce. And at EXP, these Icon members are rewarded for, spilling the beans on what it is to make them successful. And that is part of the contribution portion of getting our cap back in stock. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I love about it. I love the leadership. I have been absolutely weird my whole life. I know that about me. And you'll probably laugh at what I got excited about when I went to EXPCon, but we were in Vegas, like 6 weeks ago at the EXP convention.
Yeah.
And the chief financial officer of the company came up and just gave a whole, put out the whole profit and loss, the spreadsheet, what EXP is using their $24 million, because they're a zero debt company, money that they had made and what they're using to invest it and how that is going to help the stock grow and the company grow. And I'm like, what company have I ever been a part of where the CFO actually kind of treat you as a shareholder, which you are if you're an agent with EXP. I mean, we love to see EXP do well because we all own stock, right? And that was my absolute favorite part of it, because it's just like a respect level, treating us as intellectuals too, that we're smart people running businesses, and showing us what they're doing with it. So I'm sure people liked the parties. I'm sure they loved, different, breakout sessions. But for me, the transparency was really refreshing.
Yeah, I think the transparency and being able to have the leadership communicate with us on a weekly basis, whether it be in our Friday leadership meeting or through Workplace or all the different ways that we get access, that accessibility is unlike any company I've ever worked at. And it's just such a refreshing and cool thing, for sure. Meyer, what other questions do you have?
I think Peggy summed it up really well. You were able to find a connection with Colby, who helped bring you into the company. You've been able to icon, you've been able to share and learn. You're flying across the country, helping people in the snow, literally. And it's a very cool, fun, unique experience in real estate that's very dynamic, that a lot of us now get to take part of. Do you have any last words that you want to tell everyone before we finish up?
I think, when I was with the other brokerage and I talked to you about the $5,000 on payroll, I think being a mom of 5 kids really, made that decision much easier. Because I'm thinking, wow, that's $5,000 a month. I could be putting $1,000 in all 5 kids, college fund every month. And I just felt like I was leaving a lot of money on the table through that process and not getting the value, because I kind of already ran my own business. I used my own software because they would always change it every year or two. And I think you just you've got, a fiduciary duty to your own family to take a look at the model, because, just with the stock purchase, I've gotten, great money set aside for the future for my kids. But with the revenue share, when I pass away, that is willable to one of my family members as long as they get licensed within 18 months. So it doesn't stop when I stop. So it's just a really, I think as a parent, you got to look at it. You got to look at it.
We always tell people, don't be loyal and faithful to your broker. Be loyal and faithful to your family, and you are a true shining example of that. Mother of 5, mega agent icon. Now you are an EXP influencer. Can't wait to have you on for our next one to see what you're up to next.
I have 2 really quick questions. These will be quick, and then we'll let you run, Peggy. First is, what do you think? What is the biggest myth about EXP? What are people telling themselves that don't understand this company?
Oh, I think they think it's a pyramid scheme, which it's not. I think that's a big myth. I think that they don't think that they will have support. I think that they think that they need a manager in their office. I contacted my manager with a question maybe 2 times a year. And I can still contact the broker of record. And I contacted her 1 time this year, and I did it in Workplace chat, and she contacted me back in 2 minutes and we were done. And so I think that's a big myth. But
okay. And then second question, what's the hardest thing about EXP, or what was your biggest struggle so far since you've been here?
I think my biggest struggle was just really moving during the pandemic and being super, super busy as an agent when I moved over. So it took me a long time to dive into really getting plugged in and seeing all the different tech tools. And we're still discovering, every week something different. But there's just so much out there that, and being a busy agent, it's just taken us a long time to really, find everything and really take advantage of it. So.
It can be really overwhelming, and that's why we're here. And so when somebody reaches out to you after watching this video, just know that you get Peggy, You get myself, you get Meyer, you get our admin Chelsea, who is amazing. You get Colby Culbertson, who I think is going to do like 350 or 400 million this year with a gigantic team of like 85 people. You get his incredible admin. You get all of their resources that they've built in terms of like training guides and just really everything. So whoever sees this and reaches out to Peggy, just know this might be the time of year you want to do it before you get super busy in the spring market and in the summer. Do it now. We'll all hold your hand. We'll fly to Michigan if that's what it takes. Whatever we need to do to make sure that the people who want to come on are fully supported, we're here to do it. And Peggy's the right person to do it with. So thank you, Peggy. We really appreciate your time today. You have been amazing. And if you're watching this, don't sleep on EXP.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye, Peggy.